What's up, gamers? Dreamcast guy here, talking today about the Nintendo Switch 2. Wait, that's not me. That's Max. But you know what? Whether you love Dreamcast guy or whether you hate Dreamcast guy, you have to give him credit for his level of dedication when it comes to player hating. That man had oral surgery, had a bunch of teeth removed, had a bunch of teeth put in, and still woke up from a nap and was like, yo, I got to take a little shot at Xbox for this Forza Horizon 5 situation. You don't have that level of dedication to anything in life, okay? So whether you love the guy or whether you hate the guy, you got to respect it. You've got to respect the grind. Hope you heal up well, Dreamcast guy, aka Max. But yes, we are indeed going to be talking about Nintendo Switch 2 related things today. Yes, I am wearing a Dreamcast hoodie, so maybe I have taken over Dreamcast guy for the time being until he is back up to full health. But before we talk about the game leak that I'm honestly very excited about, I do want to briefly talk about a topic that it's kind of a sensitive topic, but it's also a topic that I feel like 99.5% of people that are currently talking about it don't really understand what the hell they're talking about with it. And I feel like it's something that, isn't even worth talking about right now. And it has to do with the price of the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, of course, people are wondering, well, is this going to be $400, $450, $500? Where's Nintendo going to land with this? But that's not really what I'm talking about with this. That's fun to speculate about because it is kind of up in the air. I'm more so on the side of the potential tariffs and the tariff situation that seems to be looming on the horizon. Now, contrary to popular belief, all because I'm a diehard Hulkamaniac doesn't mean that I'm some right-winger or something like that. I'm not a political person, so I don't have a stake in this. I don't vote. I think politics is about as real as WWE scripts are as far as how things end up happening. But there is a potential tariff situation which basically impacts the price of getting products from other countries into the United States. And the way that tariffs usually work is that if you're imposing a tariff on something, it's basically something that is manufactured or can be manufactured in the country of origin. So if you go on, Etsy or, Alibaba and buy a hammer for a dollar that was made by a 4-year-old in China, when you could get that same hammer made in America for $5 at a local place, the tariff on that hammer from China would go up because you could buy it here. It's manufactured here in the United States or whatever country you are in. Now, that's kind of extremely simplifying the situation, but that's basically how a tariff normally works. It's based on whether or not the product can be created or whether or not people do create this product in the country of origin at a decent amount rate. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to blame you for buying the $1 hammer because I would buy the $1 hammer because, I don't really care how they're made or anything like that. Like, hey, they got their own problems. I can't change the world. I'm just trying to make it so that their business is still successful and they don't, fire the poor little 4-year-old kid. I'm the humanitarian here, not you. But of course, now it seems like there's going to be potentially widespread tariffs on chips and things that are manufactured for the Nintendo Switch 2. So people are worried, oh, the price of the Switch 2 is going to come up. And it's like, yeah, maybe. I mean, we haven't heard anything about the price of the PS5 going up, and that's manufactured in both China and Japan. It seems like it's only going to be certain regions and stuff like that. Like, is it something to stress out about? I guess this is my point with this. Is this something to stress out about? No, because you could die tomorrow and then it doesn't freaking matter. It's kind of, to me, just a wait and see thing. I'm more interested in the price of the actual system itself than what a tariff could potentially do, because none of this is really written in stone as it begins with. I feel like a lot of people are using scare tactics to rile up people and stuff like that with this sort of stuff. And if it does become a situation where it is problematic and you gotta pay $800 to get a Switch 2 in the United States, then yes, we'll obviously have that conversation. I'm just saying, don't stress out about it right now because it's something that is more important. The most important thing is it's completely out of your control anyways. So what the hell are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? You know what I'm saying? So relax, I ended up talking about that for longer than I anticipated, but I guess I had some things to say about it. But the real topic at hand is, of course, what is this mysterious game leak? What is this game that could be potentially coming to the Nintendo Switch 2? Well, it's yet another Xbox game. I think a lot of us are anticipating Xbox to have a very strong presence on the Nintendo Switch 2, coming down from Phil Spencer himself. He loves the work that they're doing with Nintendo. He obviously wants to expand upon that as well. I think Indiana Jones will end up coming. I think Forza Horizon 5 will end up coming. I think Halo Master Chief Collection will end up coming. But it seems like an upcoming Xbox game could also be coming to the Nintendo Switch 2, because over on the Initiative, they are currently hiring for people right now, which of course is a company that makes Xbox games, workflow with directors, standard, spot, blah, blah, blah. Optimize and ensure the scalability of rendering features to support multiple platforms and quality settings. Now, people look at this. Oh yeah, by the way, the game is perfect freaking dark, people. People look at this and they see the multiple platforms and, you know, your mind kind of goes two ways. Well, you know, the Xbox diehard probably thinks, well, okay, they're talking about the Xbox Series X, the S, maybe cloud gaming, you know, maybe PC as well. But the person who's not in a stage of denial with this looks at multiple platforms and sees that this is probably going to come to other video game platforms beyond just Xbox. And let's be realistic here. Perfect Dark, the new Perfect Dark on a Nintendo platform, I mean, it makes sense. Just look at your history, okay? Perfect Dark was an iconic N64 game. Perfect Dark was arguably one of the best N64 games. Whether you're talking about the deep single-player campaign that had lots of nuances, the Chicago level still is an amazing level in terms of kind of design when you're being restricted by the Nintendo 64. But beyond that, of course, the ghost of the bar underneath the city, the little hidden bar thing, that's a whole cool thing that I like to go down that rabbit hole. But, you know, Perfect Dark, it perfectly encapsulated the N64 in terms of expansion pack use, in terms of multiplayer, which was a key component of the Nintendo 64. So, of course, you know, you had Perfect Dark Zero come out on the Xbox 360 as a launch title. Meh, whatever. Nobody really talks about that game or really gets excited about that game like they do the original Perfect Dark. And to me, honestly, I think the new Perfect Dark looks really damn good. It looks very futuristic. It looks very, you know, action-packed. And I'm really looking forward to this game. So if this game does come out on the Nintendo Switch 2, like it seems like it is in development for, I think that's pretty exciting. And I think it's exciting for Nintendo fans because it's kind of like a full circle moment, you know, where you have this iconic franchise that got its start on a Nintendo platform, but then of course Rare was purchased by Microsoft, and well, they didn't really do much. They didn't really do much with that Perfect Dark. You know, like I said, Perfect Dark Zero, it exists. It's okay, I guess. But people love the classic Perfect Dark. So to have that coming, you know, that full circle moment with this game back on Nintendo platforms, I honestly think it would sell very well on Nintendo platforms. But beyond that, like I said, Perfect Dark is known for its single player and its multiplayer. And that means a bunch of stupid little kids on the Nintendo Switch 2, you know, when they get home from middle school, they'll be hopping on Perfect Dark, and there'll be people like me waiting on there to absolutely destroy them. Oh, you had a shitty day at school? Well, now you're going to have a shitty day playing Perfect Dark on the Nintendo Switch 2, because I'm here to kill you and teabag you and, you know, make your experience horrible, because that's the kind of person I am. I'm playing the game to win the game. Now, I do know that there are some people who feel like, oh, well, Perfect Dark, that's too advanced to be on the Nintendo Switch 2, but it's like, bro, it's coming out on the Xbox Series S. Like, scalability is very important with these engines. When you look at the job listing itself, it literally says, look, scalability of the rendering features. So like, I feel like that's already encompassing that portion of it. So once again, like, I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think the disconnect with that people have right now is the fact that we haven't seen any Nintendo Switch 2 third-party games. We've only seen Mario Kart, and Mario Kart, you know, it looks like a little bit more of an advanced Mario Kart, but it's not a huge reinvention. It's not trying to reinvent the wheel or anything like that with that franchise, because it doesn't necessarily need to. Like, I don't feel like Mario Kart needs to go in a drastic transformation and be something that it's not, when at its core, I mean, you know, look at the sales of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You might as well stick with what works. But once you start to see third-party stuff on the system and running on the system, then I think the floodgates are going to open. So I would be very excited for Perfect Dark on the Switch 2. And I hope that it is a thing. Because I want to stomp, like my little cousin. I'll buy it for my little cousin. Be like, oh, yeah, you just got home from school? Yeah, why don't you hop on Perfect Dark, son? Let me teach you something about life and how it's not fair. I got problems, man. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for you today. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments section down below. Are you an economic expert, or are you just a son of a bitch on the computer who likes to be an expert in everything? I'm not an expert in it. I might have told you everything wrong about tariffs. It's just what I understand from it. But I also understand that you can't really control it, so why stress about it now? Like, if we get to that point, if we have to cross that bridge, then we'll look at that bridge. But, you know, whatever. And then, of course, Perfect Dark. You excited that it could be potentially coming to the Switch 2? Do you think it should come to the Switch 2? Because I sure as hell do. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this wildly all over the place video. Hit subscribe. I had my brain fart there. I haven't eaten lunch yet. Hit subscribe if you're new and you enjoy the content. Hit subscribe if you didn't enjoy the content and you just want to hate watch me, because it all works out the same in the end. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.